Do you have a home that has become unaffordable due to the tough economy? Has debt or unemployment pushed you to the brink of financial disaster? I am attorney Gary Melton, and at Stovall & Associates, we can put your family's difficulties behind you and rebuild your financial future. Call today for your free appointment and get the answers that you need in tough times. Don't give up. Call our Prump office for your free consultation. Stovall & Associates. Good lawyers for good people.
Is there any effect on the level of I shouldn't say the level of service, but the ability of the Class 1, I think is what you referred to, or the person who's on the street, the officer on the street, when they're working a 12, say, versus an 8? Would it be a breakdown in investigatory duties, or?
No, I think when somebody's on for 12 hours, you gotta kind of put yourself in a deputy's shoes. Mm-hmm. When you go to a call and your adrenaline's up, and then you get time during that call to relax, and then your next call your adrenaline's up, and then it goes down, and then it's up, and then it goes down. Depending on how many calls you take, that can wear you out pretty quick.
Right.
And right around 10 hours, I would feel that the deputies are trying to find a way to not take reports. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Commercial truck drivers can only drive for, bus drivers could drive for 8, commercial truck drivers 11. And so, but we're asking our deputies to drive 12 hours or 14 hours depending on overtime. And when you start dealing with fatigued deputies, you start to see maybe the decision process, their decision process maybe being flawed a little bit more. Maybe not as hard work as what would usually go into an investigation. Mm-hmm. There are times where we have to just suck it up and deal with that day. But every day for 12 hours a day, excuse me, and then you do another, say, 2 hours overtime. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a deputy that's tired from driving, getting in and out of his car, wearing 25 pounds of gear on him.
It's physical work.
In these temperatures, and it's mental as well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, they're gonna find ways to settle some crimes without taking reports. It's just the nature of the beast.
Let me ask you this. I mean, if we're talking about 5/8s, okay, 5 8-hour shifts, would there be more exposure to overtime that could maybe put the sheriff's office over their budgetary guidelines?
I don't think so. I think, and I remember an article in the Front Valley Times saying that we're paying 4,000 hours of overtime. It's the manager's and supervisor's responsibility to cut that overtime. Under 5/8, you would have a lot more than 3 officers working graveyard for one. These people are not stealing during the day. They're stealing at night, but we're getting reports during the day because that's when people wake up.
Right.
You got to use the community to your advantage. Their eyes and ears are open during the day. Mm-hmm. Not so many people out at night. So you put more officers on swing shift, late swing shift, graveyard. You have overlapping coverages. What that allows you to do is the deputy comes in, you give them a briefing so that you can tell them what's going on in their area. You can make sure they have all their equipment, that they look professional. You give them any quick training that they need. Let them go out there. And when you stagger their times off, it allows 2 hours for people to come into the office to maybe hand feed a report to an investigator saying this is important, you probably need to get on it right away.
Right.
Or maybe even get a chance to talk to their supervisor and get a debriefing of what happened for the day. But I think it'll serve the community well by one, knowing what's going on in your area before you start. With all the officer safety bulletins that come out from Metro and Henderson and North Las Vegas, a lot of people come out this way. And I just think that communication is the key.
So you're talking about communication amongst the officers, and then it sounds and a certain level maybe of oversight as far as day-to-day activity?
Well, I think that supervisors should work for the people that are actually doing the work. They have to make sure that the deputies have all their equipment, everything that they need so that they can perform their job. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that I would make sure that they will. And with that, you really cut down the amount of danger the officer also faces. You have more backup. Mm-hmm. There are some calls that at times Nye County's so shorthanded that they're going by themselves, and it's a call that I would think that 90% of the agencies in America wouldn't send one deputy to.
Well,
so, and on that note, Tony went up and asked for 3 or 4, 5 positions, whatever it was. I think it was 4 or 5, and he was denied by the county commissioners. And I think he was denied because he did not take these steps, saying, look, I'm trying to do everything that I can. I've cut so much from my budget already.
Right.
Can you help me out and fill these? And I think that if he would have shown that the county commissioners would have said, okay, we're on the same page.
Is this also relating to the vote where they had the retroactive pay raises for, or is this an outside issue? I'm sorry, I'm not 100%.
Yeah, no, that was before the actual contract on the deputies. Right. When Tony went in and asked for a jail slot and a technician slot and a couple other slots. 2 of them were in Tonopah, and I'm just reading it to myself, and if you want to build a $25 million jail in Pahrump and you can't fill a jailer slot and a technician slot in Tonopah, we're in trouble.
Right.
And the only other way around that is to rent out those bed spaces. There's no, in my opinion, Pahrump's going through hard times. Nye County's going through hard times. Let's build a jail that's constitutional for the inmates that we have. As soon as they're sentenced to state time, let's ship them out to the state facility so we won't have to feed them and clothe them and medical, even though they're going to pay, but when are they going to pay?
Right.
Some of these people may pay 120 days out. Some of these doctors may not want to be paid 120 days out. But let's build a jail that's safe for our community, and let's not build a jail that we want to pay for by renting out the other bed spaces. And when we rent out other bed spaces to what other agency, they're going to send us people that have behavior problems, mental problems, violent escapees, gang members, all the people they don't want to deal with. The medical, the needy, the indigent, the people with no money. Mm-hmm. They're going to send us those. And maybe their contract will cover it, maybe it won't. But what happens if they say, we're not paying that medical bill for $125,000 because you had to fly them to UMC where you had open heart surgery? Then who's going to have to go after them? And how much are we going to spend for legal services to go after these people?
And by we, you refer to the citizens of Nye County.
I'm talking not only citizens, but Nye County itself. And
Right.
if these people from out of state, are we going to fly there to file the lawsuit in their state, or are we going to file one in our state? How are we going to play this out?
It's obviously the sheriff's position is loaded with responsibility.
It is
extremely complex.
Right.
And it looks like you're really trying to make some headway towards it. So it's an interesting race. Sheriff DeMeo sat for a long time and has a lot of community support too.
He does.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I do appreciate you coming on tonight.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. This always
that's
happens.
fine.
But thanks again.
I'll come on again anytime.
Absolutely. We'll have you on, and maybe we'll have Sheriff DeMeo come on too, and maybe we'll do a little discussion then.
Let's do one.
Okay, we'll try and set that up. Well, who knows? Who knows?
Never know.
Thanks for watching Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates. I'm your host, Micah Glinsky. You have any questions for the candidates on, or say for our guests tonight, you're more than welcome to call our office. You can get a hold of me at 727-4400. And also, anybody out there who would be interested in appearing on the show. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next Thursday, 6 p.m. Thanks. Good night.
Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.